Hi, this is Randall Levels, and I'm here to talk to you about some secret beliefs that can limit you in your business. And what happened to me is I had one that was about to limit me in my life. It was during my college career when I was about to get dematriculated because of my grades were failing. Um, what had happened was is I was at or in a English lit class, even though my English isn't that good, but I was in an English lit class and I was failing the course and I needed to get the course, I needed to get my grade up. So what I did was I went to the professor and I asked him for some help. And you need to remember that first thing you need to do is ask for some help. You get a mentor, you get somebody that's going to help you along and shortcut you to your success. So what I did was I went to his house. He invited me to his house and said, "You can work on it here." Um, so what I did was I went over to his house and he was sitting at the table and he was fly fishing. And he really didn't help me at all. He said, "Just do it over, do the paper over, and we'll see if you can get you a better grade." When I was done doing the paper, he he looked at it and he said, "This is not good enough." And it only brought my grade up to a C minus. It was like a D or something like that. And it only brought my grade up to a C minus. And he said, "This is still not good enough to get you the grade that you're looking for." He said, "So why don't you go home, look it over, and come back tomorrow, and we'll look at it. We'll try it again." So I went home, and I looked over everything, and I went back through the notes and everything, and I didn't see anything different. And what happened was, is I went back, and he talked to me a little bit about the structure of what I was supposed to be writing, and I fixed a few things, and he said, "This is still not good enough." And so I went home again. He invited me over to the next day, and we had spaghetti, and he was still making his flies for his fly fishing, and sitting there with his son. And I got to thinking I had to really get focused on what I was doing, and really put an effort into what I was doing. So the last revision of the paper, I turned it in, and he said, "Okay, this is good enough to get a B minus." And he said, "What do you think was keeping you from getting this grade the first time?" And I said, I really just said I didn't know. And he said, "You're not stupid or dumb or anything. It's just that you don't know how to learn." And when he went on to explain to me is that when you first learn something, or when you first hear the information, when you first get the information, you need to go ahead and implement it as quickly as possible. And um, I kind of didn't know what he was talking about. And he went on further to explain that within the first 20 minutes of hearing some given information, you need to go ahead and read it over again and act on it. And he said, and then it will stick with you more, it will stick with you. And I went on and did it. I took his word for it, and I went on and did it. And so what I would do is after each course, I would go home, or on my walk back to my apartment, I would be walking back, and I would just read the information on the way back instead of talking and lollygagging and and doing other shenanigans. And so what happened was is for the rest of that semester and for the years following, I was able to get all A's and B's in the rest of my college career, all while working a 40-hour job and carrying 18 to 21 hours of courses. And, I just said all that to say this, is that before I went to him, I had a secret belief that just because, I didn't come from, a, a silver spoon family, and that maybe I wasn't smart enough to get this. It was getting drummed into me that I wasn't smart enough to actually get this work, because the problem had been going on for some time. And I was beginning to think that I wasn't smart enough to be able to handle college anymore. And until I had those sessions with him, my grades were pretty poor. And I think it was because they told me, "Well, you don't need to take this course, you don't need to take that course, because you're not going to be able to handle it with the workload that you are carrying right now with football." And I kind of believed them. it kind of dumbed me down a little bit. It made me lessen my efforts. So all I'm saying is this, is that you've got to be able to change your thinking from what is called an amateur in secret beliefs to a pro way of thinking, how a pro handles things. And you got to be able to elevate your thinking in your mind to shield yourself against those limiting beliefs that's going to hold your business back. And when you start to do that, you're going to start to implement strategies quickly and successfully, with the greatest of ease, without even having any fear of going into them. A lot of people have fear of video, writing emails, writing blog posts, doing webinars, and you've got to get rid of those fears as quickly as possible. So I just wanted to share that with you to let you know that everything is possible if you get rid of those secret beliefs. This is Randall Levels, and I'll talk to you later. All right, bye-bye.